This brand new research by Gallup says American trust in the mass media is at its lowest point since 2016 and near a record low overall.
Jeff Zucker has announced his immediate resignation as the president of CNN. This comes amid an investigation into what Jeff Zucker calls a consensual relationship.
What happened and where CNN goes from here?
You were caught masturbating on camera. You since then have been on leave from CNN. Do I have all that right?
You got it all right. Sad to say.
The biggest media story this weekend, it's the firing of Chris Cuomo from this network, CNN. Late Wednesday, a lawyer contacted CNN with a sexual misconduct complaint about Cuomo.
Joining me now, the man who accused Don Lemon of sexual assault. His accuser claims Lemon started rubbing himself.
But the even bigger point, I think, is about what the press is. Is it produced by reporters or by repeaters? Repeaters are the talk radio shouters. They're on TV and radio telling the same story every day. President Trump.
President Trump. President Trump. Trump.
Trump.
Trump. Trump.
Trump.
Trump.
Trump. Trump. Trump. Trump. Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Telling the same story every day.
Repeaters are Twitter trolls who anonymously amplify propaganda and try to wear the rest of us down with their repetition.
January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th. January 6th.
January 6th.
The January 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th.
Repetition.
The January 6th insurrection.
The insurrection. The insurrection.
The insurrection.
The insurrection. The insurrection.
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 Repetition. Repetition.
Repetition.
So much of what they are repeating is from reporters, from the people paid to figure out what is true.
A widely held conspiracy theory that the coronavirus was created in a Chinese laboratory.
Dr. Fauci, thank you for keeping it straight. Thank you for fighting the good fight.
We know the science. We know that masks work.
What we have now is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is really now a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
This is now a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Much of the dossier has been corroborated.
What does Putin have on Trump? Has Trump been compromised?
But it does look like that young man to me is taunting the Native American Vietnam vet, and he's in his face.
There is no evidence of any wrongdoing by either Hunter or Joe Biden.
There's no evidence of wrongdoing by either Joe or Hunter Biden.
What you're seeing behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha.
But this isn't about ideology.
The biggest terror threat in this country comes from radicals on the far right, primarily white men.
As a white woman, aware of my own privilege in this country, I am so angry, and I can't even begin.
Now, too many see the protests as the problem. No, the problem is what forced your fellow citizens to take to the streets.
A few moments later.
We're here inside CNN Center. We just threw something on fire, Chris. Something's on fire.
Nick, you all right?
We're getting out of here, Chris.
All right.
We are not fake news. We are real news.
And now the two faces of Hillary Clinton are coming out. The fact through WikiLeaks that she says one thing and...
Oh, no. All right, let's see if we can get Congressman Collins back. Obviously, we just lost the satellite feed. That sucks.
Routinely at these rallies, we are hearing chants of CNN sucks.
This is CNN, the most trusted name in
CNN sucks, man.
How do you steal a seat for statewide office? With bags of taxpayer dollars and a straw man for a candidate. I'm Janelle Batts, and this is a special episode of Point Blank. The next 180 seconds is going to cover information that parents and taxpayers alike need to know about how Oklahoma tax dollars are actively being used to influence our elections. Last week, Epic Charter School founders Ben Harris, Josh Brock, and David Cheney were indicted on racketeering, fraud, and embezzlement. This came after last year's release of an audit. This revealed a pyramid scheme where they would incentivize people with cash to double enroll students. The more students they had, the more the state paid them. By ensuring the school and management company had board members consisting of family and friends, and placing Brock as the chief financial officer, it allowed them to funnel millions with zero oversight. In 2019, Harris, Cheney, and Brock knew the audit could put their scheme in jeopardy, so they created a shell company called EdTech to hide their payments. Epic would pay EdTech, and EdTech would pay them. Using the money stolen from taxpayers, they would look to kill two birds with one stone. The first bird would be to mold the legislature, and the second to get rid of the person who exposed it all, State Auditor Cindy Byrd. With tax dollars, they made a max donation to State Senator Paul Racino, who 2 days later would co-author a bill that would cut funding to the auditor's office. The State Chamber of Commerce got a total of $55,000 in payments from tax dollars after filing a friend of the court, defending Epic in a suit. Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs, also known as OCPA, got $100,000 and quickly became a vocal opponent of the audit. Moreover, EdTech paid tens of thousands to campaign advocacy management professionals, also known as CAMP, found Hollins Group, producing negative ads against former State Senator Ron Sharp, a vocal opponent of Epic. With one bird out of the way, they shifted their target to State Auditor Cindy Byrd. Cheney and Harris would pay $1.4 million from embezzled tax dollars to various PACs, including $750,000 to a Prosperity Alliance PAC. In an effort to disguise their efforts, Prosperity Alliance PAC would transfer $500,000 to American Values First PAC. While they are a DC PAC, they are registered out of Tulsa. Another PAC that would pay money into American Values First PAC would be Pioneer PAC, registered to Jeffrey Long, who just happens to be suing Cindy Byrd. Jeffrey is listed as Founding Truth PAC, which just happens to be registered to the same address as CAMP. Altogether, through the various PACs, it adds up to over $1 million in attack ads. All of that to say that when prominent Republicans were approached to run against Cindy Byrd and refused, Epic founders poured money into a straw candidate, even having one of their friends who held an Epic board position donate the filing fee on the day of filing to Steve McQuillan. One could argue that McQuillan is a serious candidate, but given that out of the 5 total donations he's received, the filing fee being the largest, it should be questioned. Will the truth win the day? This isn't about Epic Charter School. These men have ceased being associated with the school long ago. I'm a mom of 3 children currently enrolled in Epic, and I not only believe in school choice, but my children's education is a product of that.
A tremendously important group of people to me. America's veterans. These are special people.
Jarrin Jackson served our nation in 2 combat tours in Afghanistan and is leadership trained by West Point and the U.S. Army Ranger School. Jarrin will secure our border, expand Oklahoma oil and gas, and will protect our children. We need a border security fighter in office now who will put America and Oklahoma first.
Yes! Welcome! It's Friday. It's Friday, that's right. We're not going to take it. There's so much corruption. The swamp. We got an election coming up. We got a country to save. We got an enemy to fight back against. We have the truth. We've got God on our side, the Constitution on our side. You don't like corruption. Everyone knows. Oh, let me turn that down. We don't want to rock out too hard. Hey, good evening, good Friday. My name is Jarrin Jackson. I do love America. I am the America First candidate. No swamp money, no PAC money, no outsider lobbyist dirty money. What I have are small dollar donors from all over the country because everyone knows we're going to take our country back from the swamp. Everyone knows that America is more important to all of us than the privileged few with their hands in our pockets trying to hide behind the curtain. The curtain is being pulled to the side. People are trying to figure out and starting to see who's really the puppet master, who really are the people of the day. Meanwhile, America First options, America First candidates and issues are winning the day. We're going to secure the border. We're not going to not only touch your guns and defend the Second Amendment. We want a robust Second Amendment. We don't want the federal government with their unconstitutional agencies, the FBI, the DOJ, the EPA, the ATF, the CIA, the NSA. We don't want those organizations coming down to our homes, intimidating individual citizens. They don't have the right to exist in the Constitution. They definitely don't have the ability to come to your doorstep to demand privacy violations of your constitutional rights. We want our border. We don't want China to own 5% of our state. We want our manufacturing here. We want our producing here. We want our agriculture here. We want our kids to not be perverted. We want our teachers to be well paid, not the administrators tyranting over them, making them take woke, rough crap that they have to tell other kids. Teachers don't want to teach that stuff, not here in Oklahoma. They might have other places, but not here. The teachers here don't want to push that crap. They want to teach. They want to take care of the kids that they spent all their time and all their education going to, especially the teachers that know about the truth. None of this pronoun stuff. We want our laws enforced. We don't need new laws. We need men with courage and spines and backbones to empower the law enforcement officials that are doing their job. Not tyrants and dictates and whims. What we want is energy independence. Why are we paying an arm and a leg for gas? Why are we paying an arm and a leg for healthcare system? What we have, folks, is a corrupt system. You are taxed, bagged, and tagged all over the place. You are attacked. You are maligned. You are propagandized. You have an enemy that's directly against you. The prize is your freedom. The key is our country. And if you are an American First patriot, if you want your Constitution defended, now is the time to take your country back. Now is the opportunity to go forward, move forward. I am a Bible-believing Christian. I want everyone to come to a saving knowledge of salvation only through the blood of Jesus Christ. His death, His burial, His resurrection. That is my faith. That's what the Bible teaches. There's no way else to heaven but through Jesus Christ. I will preach that from whatever platform the dear God gives me. Amen. In this campaign, you have the ability to assert state sovereignty, to push back, fight back, take back your country against not only federal overreach, but this corrupt swamp that thinks it's better than you, that thinks it's smarter than you, that is lying to you, rerouting, as you saw in that epic charter corruption video from our friends at Project 46. They're taking your tax dollars and they're washing it through agencies and they're spitting it back out at you in the form of political propaganda. The attacks, the maligns, that's why you get all these things. If it doesn't say paid for and authorized by Jarrin Jackson 2022, then it's probably swamp money. These are Democrat tactics. These are leftist tactics. This is what keeps Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi in office. This is what they cudgel conservatives with. This is how they're taking over our country. You saw the CNN clips. You saw their self-destruction. These people are godless. Because they are godless, they don't care about the country, and they are perverting people. They're propagandizing people. You know this. Everyone knows this. If you love this country, you want to fight for this country. You want to save this country. I ask for your vote on August 23rd. My name is Jarrin Jackson. I am running for state Senate and here in District Number 2, Oklahoma. And don't think for a second this is just a little blip on the map. There are so many people paying attention to this. Just now, I'm hearing calls from national contacts, other states away, getting pressure. They're trying to manipulate people. They are so scared. The swamp is on the ballot, and people know it. People know it. Swamp, you're caught. We caught you all. We know what's going on. We see you taking the tax dollars. We see you washing it through. We see you perverting the kids. We see you undermining America. We see the Democrats that are trying to take the guns. We see people that are trying to destroy the freedoms. But the little people are awake. We the people, we understand what's going on. I want to do a quick rehash of what I stand for. This phone right here is at this number right here, 918-845-9555. You can call live. I give you, the people, the floor, this phone. You may call whenever we open it up to the calls. Calls, texts, comments, concerns. It's a Friday. Let's have some fun. I'm in a very good mood, folks. I've been knocking doors all over the district today. I have people, watch this. I have people coming up to me. I walk up to their door. and I see this in the window. I see impeach Joe Biden, and then I see my card. This was given to me by one of my friends. He said, look at this. Look at this Jarrin Jackson mailer in the window of this impeach Joe Biden. People know. They know who the America First patriot is. They know who the combat veteran is. They know the person who's had a job, owns his business, has children, wants to homeschool kids, wants to stop the perversion of children, wants people to live their lives and just be left alone. Folks, this is basic. We're winning because we have basic positions, common sense, constitutional, God-fearing, pro-freedom American positions. This isn't that hard. Be yourself. Tell the truth. Jesus says in Matthew 5:37, Sermon on the Mount, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything else is of the evil one. I'm an open book. I do a daily live stream. It's been on the internet for 2 years. Jarrin is saying all sorts of stuff. They're scared, folks. Let's talk about some issues. You saw the TV ad, right? Wasn't that great? That's all over the place. President Trump cares about veterans. You care about veterans. Everyone who loves America cares about her veterans because those are men and women willing to put their lives on the line to enter harm's way, to do violence on behalf of the country to our enemies. And then they come home, we need to take care of them. I am a combat veteran. I've served twice in Afghanistan. I led men and women under fire. I've lost friends. I've been attacked on behalf of the enemy, on behalf of the enemies of the United States of America. And by God's grace, I'm still here. One of the things that I care most about is the Second Amendment. I care a lot about the Second Amendment because I understand the use of force. I'm the only candidate probably on any ballot in Oklahoma who's ever used force in a lethal situation, who's ever used lethal force in a combat situation. Not only am I not going to take your guns, I want a robust Second Amendment. That means we need to assert state sovereignty, get a state armory, nullify the role of the ATF, the FBI, the DOJ, all these communist, all these extra constitutional, unconstitutional federal agencies. I don't see them in Article 1, Section 8, do you? A simple reading of the Constitution does not yield the conclusion that you should have federal agencies able to come to your doorstep to know that you have a firearm, let alone legislate or regulate the magazine capacity, barrel length, or how many you can own. And woe to those people who say, we should go to people's houses if you buy 2 or more firearms in a certain amount of time. I'm endorsed by Gun Owners of America, the only national gun group that did not support taking away bump stocks. I don't know why we grant the premise that you can have such thing as called a gun-free zone. I'm sorry. Do your God-given rights arbitrarily end at a designated point on a piece of ground? No. Your God-given rights are with you wherever you are because God gives them to you and they're good gifts. Amen. You need people that understand this, can assert this, can communicate this, and most importantly, will defend this. Sue people who come after us, stop bad legislation, advance good legislation, but also educate the civic competence of we the people. We need to get back to America. We need to actually understand what this country's about and stop taking crap from people that are closet communists that want to destroy our freedom. These people are encroaching on us and they're flanking us through our Christian goodness. They think that being nice is what's elevated above your defending your rights. I'm sorry, we need to tell people about Jesus, but I'm not going to look the other way whenever you try to snatch my guns. Sorry, homie. Keep walking. The next thing, border wall. This is a state issue. This is a community issue. Every community is a border community. And for those people that are like, well, the federal government has to do this. Jarrin, what can you do as a state senator? People who ask that question, we need to talk about the Constitution. We need to understand what the role of the states is. The Constitution limits the federal government, not necessarily the state government. We can pass E-Verify. We should. We haven't. Why not? We have illegals working in Oklahoma. We have no way to verify that they're supposed to be here legally. I want to do that. And if they're not here legally, you get them out of here. I don't like the political optics of sending them to Washington, D.C. or New York City. Get them out of my country. If you're illegal, you're gone. You came here illegally. You don't get to stay. And I don't want to bust you further away from the border. Get out. I didn't lose friends overseas in combat just so that we could have my country be, diluted by people who aren't supposed to be here, who don't think like us, taking our jobs and not giving a flip about my tradition, my history, my law, my culture, my family, my community, my jobs. Scooch. Get back. Amen. Next issue, energy. Energy. We need energy independence. Why is Oklahoma not producing more energy? Caps on oil drills, no new leases. These are federal regulations we just need to nullify. I'm sorry, federal government. The land underneath my feet belongs to Oklahoma, unless it's the 5% that China has already bought, at which point we need to take that back. We're going to get to that in a second. Energy independence. Oklahoma is an oil and gas state. Why do we believe the lie of this green energy substitute? We got the oil. We got the horizontal drilling. We got the miracle of horizontal drilling. We got the oil derricks. We got the oil men. We got the linemen. We've got the men that will do the work. We need to unleash them. Let them do it. Let them go and do it. Amen. Absolutely. Energy. I don't know why more people don't talk about this. And this is the other thing too, folks. Issues. You don't win on personality. You win on what the government is going to do for the people. It's we the people, not they the politicians. These politicians have arranged schemes of greed, graft, corruption, and otherwise subterfuge. They benefit themselves, enrich themselves based off exploiting the public trust. It's scurrilous, it's deleterious, it's dangerous, it's unconstitutional, it's depraved, and it's wrong. I want to stop it. I want to smash it. Not violence. For those people who say violence, I want to get rid of the corruption. I don't want corrupt people. I don't want a corrupt system. I have 3 small children. I don't like the direction the country's going. I don't like the direction of our culture. That's why I talk about Jesus on the doorstep. If you're one of the thousands of people that I've knocked their door throughout the district, whether it's Collinsville or Owasso or Claremore, all parts of Claremore, Verdigris, Tiowa, down where I'm at, Catoosa, Fair Oaks, wherever you are, I've knocked the doors, the thousands of doors all over the place. And whenever it gets to that point in the conversation where people are like, well, Jarrin, I just don't know if we got it. I don't know if America's on our last day. America's not on our last days. As long as we draw breath, America's not on our last days. This is the opportunity. This is the time. This is the time whenever it's under fire is when you advance. A lot of people like to get behind the rock. They like to take cover. They don't like getting shot at. I got to admit, I don't like getting shot at either, but it's in those times that you have to move close to these people. The swamp is designed to dissuade patriots from exercising their freedom. They'll call you bigoted. They'll call you racists. They'll censor what information you can post. They'll call you bigoted if you try to keep your church open during a global pandemic. They'll try to teach your kids pronouns, and if you don't want it, then you're counterculture, or that you want to take us back to the 1950s. No. I just want you to operate and honor the fact that male and female, amen. First page of the Bible, God made man in his image. In his image he created them. Male and female he created them. Genesis chapter 1. These are basics. Truth. Common sense, love. If we don't have a system for love, a system for redemption, this is why we need to advance our faith. We need to tell other people about Jesus. We need to bring the gospel into form. And hey, if that's not your belief, I'm not using the government to advance it. I'm saying Christian soldiers, onward, stand up, move forward. What you waiting for? Why are we letting people who hate our culture, hate our country, tell us what to do? Why are we letting them do things that aren't in the Constitution? It's not legal. You can't do that. They've feminized men. They've broken the family. They've incentivized caregivers out of the home. I had one woman call me today in tears. She was like, I've called every one of my state legislatures. I've called the governor's office. I've called the child care office. I've called state rep, state senator. No one wants to touch the idea that my dad was abused in his hospital bed. Had dementia. People beating him up. It's like people feel left out. They feel forgotten. But you're not forgotten. First and foremost, you have a heavenly Father. We've got the gospel. But you're not forgotten by patriots. You're not forgotten by people who just want to defend the Constitution, live their lives, and be left alone. One of my issues that I bring up that no one's talking about, China should not own 1 acre of American land. I want to take it. If you are a Chinese communist, if you're connected to their companies, their businesses, if you have any connection to the Red Army, the Red Scare, or any of these other people, I want to take it from you. I want to sell it, and I want to give the money back to the people. Call it your globalist refund. Fight the straw purchases and the illegal marijuana grow operations by seizing communist land under the auspice that is a destabilizing and undermining economic effort by the Chinese. And we know this because they wrote a book about it, folks. They wrote a book, 1999, Unrestricted Warfare, where they told us what they were going to do. When your enemy tells you what they're going to do, you should believe them. I want to say that I am endorsed in this race by Mr. Mike Lindell, Christian, patriot, puts his money where his mouth is. This man is a role model. People don't understand, don't like certain things. The man puts his life on the line insofar as that's his business, that's his baby. He makes pillows. He talks about Jesus. He wants people to know the truth about certain situations that I can't talk about because of the platforms that I'm going to be censored on if I tell you the truth about them. But you know what I'm talking about. Miss Carrie Lake, she is the gubernatorial nominee for the Republican Party in Arizona. She is the rising star in the America First movement. This woman has more backbone and she has more fortitude. I'll just say it that way. She has more fortitude than most of the men in politics. This woman is a Democrat nightmare. She is a leftist she's like kryptonite for leftists because they want to go after women, or they want to say, well, we're the party of women and we're the party. This woman was a reporter in the media, left her job, left her glowing stellar career to become a leader because they told her that she couldn't talk about America the way that she wanted to talk about America. They told her she had to report on the fact that everything was rosy when they weren't rosy. She had to say that they forced her media company was trying to force her to cover the border as though it was secure and it was good when it wasn't secure or good. Friends, we have so much corruption in this state. I didn't know about it when I started. Whenever I started this campaign, I live out here south of Claremore. I just want to be left alone. My children are the reason why I'm in this race. I don't like the direction of the culture. I don't like the perversion of society. I want to homeschool my kids. I'm an all of the above option for education. I want teachers to be paid better. We can use some business sense. I own 4 businesses. We need to bring a business approach to change the funding mechanism so teachers get paid. You can absolutely pay teachers better without increasing taxes. You can absolutely deport illegals. You can absolutely pass E-Verify. You can absolutely set these punishments in place for people that break the law. You can use incentives for we the people to fight back against these illegal straw purchases of marijuana grow farms that are attached to the Chinese, that are leading to the development of cartel activity, that are going to lead to the development of paramilitary activity, child sacrificing, or human sex trafficking, child sex trafficking, which is tied to what I said earlier. All of these things are tied together. We can absolutely do this, but this is the opportunity we have. The swamp is all in this. My opponent has $300,000 plus and counting dollars. Every single time I raise money, which I think I'm fully funded, the swamp comes back in and just pours it in. If you have the opportunity to donate, please. We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We've got 4 or 5 days left. 4 or 5 days. This is the swamp. We break their back here. This is the moment they do not advance. This is the line they cannot cross. This is the foxhole that stops their advance because they're pouring it in. Last count that I had, there was like 15 PACs involved. The media's involved. The fake news, corrupt politicians. There's so many people swarming onto this thing. This is Democrat tactics. Today I was called a bigot. I was called a Nazi. These people are employing Hillary Clinton tactics in an Oklahoma runoff. That's how scared they are. They're so scared. They're doing all the things these Democrats do against Trump. They've the last 5 years. If you can take the last 5 years that these I gotta watch what I say. If you take the 5 years of these people that have gone against Trump, the last 5 years they're deploying the same tactics here. And if you're here in Oklahoma and you're getting the mail, you're hearing the ads, you're seeing the things, you know you are first-hand witness to the swamp who circled the wagons and weaponized its core values. The core value of the swamp is perverting your freedom, taking your money, and weaponizing it against your self-interest. That's what the swamp does. Takes your money, routes it back through its scheme, and throws it right back at you in the form of propaganda. And it's happening all over the place in this district. It ain't going to work. I ask you to donate. JacksonOklahoma.com/donate. If you are in district, share this message. This is my number. This is my phone. 918-845-9555. You need to tell your friends to vote. Send this clip, send this information to other people, have them set a reminder on their phone, have them say, hey, I got to go vote for this dude. Why? Well, because the guy's an America First combat veteran. He loves Jesus and he doesn't take this corrupt swamp money. They hate his guts, and if he gets in, Katie bar the door, we're going to smash the whole thing in a constructive, responsible way. Because we don't want corruption. We don't want these frigid schemes of freedom deprivation. What we don't want is the political enrichment, the personal enrichment of privileged politicians, their consultants, and the whole godless apparatus. We want a country for the people, by the people, and of the people. We want our Constitution defended. We want our rights defended. Live your own life. Believe what you want to believe. Don't use the government as your cudgel. Get your hand out of my pocket. Leave me alone. Don't talk to my kids. Don't take my guns. This is where we stop them. We have the momentum. The indicators are all looking that way. I go to doors. Before I get to the doorstep, I have people opening up the door. Hey, Jarrin, you're Jarrin, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, we see you on TV. I'm like, that's great. And they're like, you're you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm me. It's like, did you know that I want the first guy I knocked his house today, the guy goes, did you know that you went to West Point? I was like, yes. he's like, did you know that you went to, I took a picture with him. He's like, he pops out his phone and he's like, he's telling his wife, he's like, hey, Janet, get out here. She walks out and he's like, here, take this phone. He takes the phone, he turns it around, and I was like, hey, if we're gonna take a selfie, we gotta do it like 45, right? We gotta do the thumbs up. So we took the picture. It's one of the first houses I knocked today. It was out there in Owasso. It was a great time. It was right behind the neighborhood market, the Walmart neighborhood market. We worked there. We worked Collinsville. I worked other parts of Owasso. I was a little bit in Verdigris today. I've been in Verdigris recently. We've been all over the place, folks, because this phone right here, this phone number right here, I should say, I get sign locations. If you want a sign, text sign to this number and we'll go. We actually bought a lot more signs. We've basically run out because we've had so many sign requests. That's why you're seeing them all over the place. That shows momentum. That shows support. And what's great about that is that the government has come through, and I'm not alleging, the government's come through and just basically taken all the signs. They just said, hey, we don't want no signs no more. So all the signs that are out are fresh. They're brand new. They were personally requested after all the signs were taken down. So those are new supporters on top of the old, the current, previous, enduring supporters. Folks, I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged. It's a good day. It's going to be a good weekend, a great weekend. The truth is out. People don't like the swamp. They don't like the corruption. They want America first. And if you're in that position, please share this message. Let's take some calls. 918-845-9555. 918-845-9555. This message is resonating. Defend the gun. Secure the border. Energy independence. Seize China land. Stop perverting my children. Leave my guns alone. Leave my guns alone. Leave my guns alone. Amen. So I got asked, what type of business do you own? I own 4 businesses. I own an ammunition company, which is an online retail. All my stuff is online. One of the lessons of COVID taught me to get out of brick and mortar and do everything online. It's cheaper overhead, but also you can advertise to a larger audience. So I do my ammunition business. I have a business where we make apparel. I've monetized my live stream. So I do a daily commentary where I end with a gospel call. It's, I'm a Rush Limbaugh baby, so it's Rush Limbaugh plus Bible, talking about the day's events. And then we've actually started a coffee company. The bags got finished in development this week, and so we're going to be launching that because one of my favorite times in the day is to sit at the breakfast table with my wife, read our Bibles, and drink coffee. And it hit me. Why am I spending money on coffee whenever I could be making money on coffee? So we started a coffee business back in February, and it's been in development since then. So those are the businesses that I own. Who else? Someone just told me I have 1, 2, so I get a new sign location on Country Club. Okay, we'll do that. New sign location. Okay. So I got a couple sign locations. Jarrin, would you make Election Day a state holiday to squash the excuses? I am more interested in the integrity of the election, making sure it's a single day, paper ballot, very limited mail-ins. I would be open to entertain, but I'm talking about deployed military. I'm talking about severely, physically handicapped people. Just because you don't want to go in person, I don't think is a valid excuse. You need to go show the person. You need to go show up. I want no machines connected to the internet. I want no software in the machines. I want to be tallied at the precinct level. No machines connected to the internet. No machines connected to the internet. no machines connected to the internet, no ESNS, no Dominion, none of that. So I'd be more focused on that perspective than a state holiday. But yeah, sure, why not? One day, one vote, one ballot, paper, signature match, photo ID, no internet. Yeah, I think I covered it. Yeah, we got to make our elections efficacious. Like, we have to bring back the validity of the vote. Anyway, so I've got this phone at this number, 918-845-9555. Please share this. If you are in district, give me a call. If you have issues, comments, concerns, give me a call. The fur's flying, folks, because the swamp is scared. They're pulling tactics they haven't done. They're dusting off the most deepest depth of their playbook. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. Like, that's the part that gives me joy, is that understanding what's going on, I see the momentum. I'm on the doors. I'm on the ground. I see the people. I hear the people. I hear what they're saying. I know the issues. And it's very understandable how things are going, because what we say is true. What we say is true. We want our country. This is how we take our country back. So we have to fight. If you're out of state, if you're out around, if you're listening, I ask for the donation. The reason why is because I don't have the bottomless pits of money that these swampers do. These swampers see what we raise, and then they just dump it. I've got a last couple things I have to fund, so we're running out of time. Thankfully, the swamp won't be able to continue to come back. But every single time I think I'm there, the swamp comes back with like twice as much. So I have a couple things that I have to get done. I ask if you have the opportunity to donate to push this message. We aren't just running for state senate here. We're not even just running to start to clean up the swamp in Oklahoma. What we're doing is we're setting the pattern for America First campaigns in America. We're going to establish the trend. We're going to develop the routine. This is a battle drill. We are figuring out what the format is. We're going to communicate it. We're going to export it. We're taking our country back. We're not going to stop. We're not going to take their excuses. We're not going to be dissuaded. We're not going to be propagandized. We will not be forgetting what they've done to us. We will not be distracted by the red herrings, by the lies, by the names, by the name callings, the ad hominems that don't mean anything. We want secure borders. We want energy independence. We want our guns not to be touched with. We want the Constitution defended. We don't want our kids perverted. We want to live our lives and to be left alone. And if that means we have to take every single office from dog catcher to the White House, then we're going to do it. And I want to help. I want to do it here, now, here this Tuesday, August 23rd. And then I want to export what we're doing, and I want to tell other people. Because this is not just me, it's not just Carrie Lake, it's not Mike Lindell or Wendy Rogers or Doug Mastriano or Mark Fincham. It's not these other patriots around the country. It's the normal people like you. It's the normal we the people who see what's going on and want to do something about it. If you've got that yearning, we want to be able to help you. You put in the work, you put in the prayer, and if it's God's will, let's do this thing. But this is the opportunity. So I got a couple questions. Just praying, just people praying. And not just praying, but I appreciate it. What I hear a lot whenever I go around and I knock doors is that they either A, see or hear my ads, or B, a friend told them about me. They said, yeah, my friend told me about you. So the word of mouth works. You taking your phone and taking to your friends, sharing this link and telling them about me is powerful. That's very, very powerful. And you telling other people about me. Yo, did you know that there's this dude with a glorious beard? He's a combat veteran. He was an infantry officer, and he's an America First candidate. He's on the ballot today. I spoke to two people in Owasso today. One guy couldn't vote because he just got out of the Marine Corps. He just moved here from Virginia, but he was speaking to a woman, a registered Republican, and she had no idea. She had no idea what was going on. She was like, what's going on? I was like, I'm running for state senate. We got a runoff on Tuesday. She's like, I had no idea. Didn't we vote for that back in June? I said, yeah. And she goes, oh, well, when are we doing? I said, we got to vote again. She's like, okay, I'm going to tell everybody I know. We got a caller. This is Jarrin. What's on your mind?
Yeah, on Tuesday is that I need help making making a decision on the state superintendent race. What will make a great state superintendent? And how can you speak on the video who to vote for?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm going to keep it to state senate, keep it to my race. Other people can run their campaigns. We're running our campaign. I think best thing for a state senate candidate is one, or state superintendent candidate is one that's running on school choice and parental rights. The parents are in charge in education. God gave me my kids. God did not give the government my kids. And so we need to recognize parental primacy in education. That doesn't mean that teachers are diminished. It means that parents are the cornerstone. Parents are the ones that are going to have the control, have the school choice in order to affect that. What's great about Oklahoma is that we have great teachers, we have good parents, we need to get the system out of the way. There's been made a combat between teachers and parents, which is stupid, and it's been done like that to pit the two groups together. Meanwhile, the people puppeteering, benefiting from it at the top are the ones that are outside, and that's why the two sides clash. I think there's a great opportunity to bring business sense into the funding methods of education, not to change where we get the money or how much money is there, but to change distribution. I've got some ideas based on some businesses that I run. So yeah, but no, I'm not going to announce support or not support for other candidates. I appreciate the call. So yeah, there you go. Okay, well, it's Friday. Y'all guys want to get back to your lives and start the weekend. Again, Jarrin Jackson, America First candidate. I take no PAC money, no swamp money, no deep state money. The opponent has a lot of it. That's basically all that's there. If you want to help me fund against the deep state, jacksonoklahoma.com/donate. This is my phone. This is my number. You want to call me, text me, sign, and an address. We'll get you a sign. But most important is vote. Tell your friends to vote. Get the word out. And then have them set a reminder where their phone bugs them. And then on election day, poke them. Get them out and vote. Anyway, God bless you. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.